Welcome to Miles Ahead, the Canadian Points Podcast, brought to you by FrugalFlyer.ca, where we talk about all things miles and points, a hobby that allows us to travel all over the world in style and on a budget. Today, we are going to be talking about stacking rewards with shopping portals and card-linked offers, how to double dip and maybe even triple or quadruple dip your rewards. As a reminder, I'm Danny.
I'm Jeff.
And I'm Josh.
Before we delve too far into this episode, I want to remind listeners that you can always find our timestamps in the show notes if you'd like to skip to a specific section or revisit a particular part. Additionally, if you're enjoying what you hear, please take a moment and leave us a review, a comment, or a rating on your preferred podcast platform. We read all of that feedback, and the reviews in particular help us tremendously. If you're watching this on YouTube, give us a like. Thumbs up, guys. All right, we got there. So, double dipping with shopping portals and card-linked offers. So, I think firstly, we need to understand shopping portals, and we're all going to get some airtime here. So, starting off, we've covered all the Canadian shopping portals and even some of the US shopping portals pretty extensively here on FrugalFlyer.ca. They are one of the most common and the easiest ways to earn additional rewards for your online shopping activities. Basically, what a shopping portal is they act as an intermediary between the stores that are trying to sell things and a website which is pushing you to those stores. So when the shopping portal gets you to click on their link and you buy something from, let's say, Sport Check, that's a nice Canadian example, the shopping portal will get a commission, and the shopping portal is basically giving you a portion of their commission in return. And that's kind of the basics of shopping portal business, but there is a little bit more to it than that. Like, Jeff, you're not going to get your rewards instantly, right?
No, it's going to depend on the retailer. Usually, you will not get them till the order ships in almost all cases, and in some cases, there's going to be a bit longer of a delay. But yeah, we love. If there's one thing that's better than earning points on your purchases, is it's earning multiple different types of points on your purchases.
Yes. Yeah, and there's multiple shopping portals out there too, so there's good tools to understand how to use those shopping portals best. And Josh, maybe you can speak to that a little bit.
Yeah, so there's sites out there that kind of aggregate all of the rewards and multipliers that these portals have. So one is Cashback Monitor, is a great resource. These sites also help you monitor when there's promotions going on. A lot of these portals do run promotions throughout the year, whether it's Black Friday, Boxing Day, back to school, Easter, Mother's Day. They run so many promotions. Some portal usually has something going on. So it's nice to be able to compare and contrast, because you might want to earn points in one program, but you might be able to earn 10 times the points in another program by using a different portal. So shopping portals are similar to loyalty programs. You kind of want to be loyal and consistent with what you use, as you're accruing points, but diversity is a major plus with this stuff. So
yes, and I think a word of caution when using Cashback Monitor or other aggregator sites is that if you're using this for a small purchase and you're going to sign up for a shopping portal and it's a brand new account, there are many cashback portals in particular that require you to have a minimum amount of cashback before you redeem it. So, while you might be getting 20% cash back through, what's a good one? Hoopla Dupla. I've used them before. But you can only get 5% cash back. Excellent name. And I think it's even more fun to say with the crazy mustache that I've got going on my face right now. If you can only get 5% cash back through Rakuten, 20% might sound great. If you're only buying something that's $20, you're not going to be able to cash out your $4. You probably have to do more shopping to get that up to around $20 or $25 to actually cash it out. So, you might think you're getting a better deal. You might actually be getting 0% cash back if you can't accrue enough cash back through that portal to actually make a difference. And then the other thing to note on Cashback Monitor is that it is a US-based retailer mainly. Now, there are some exceptions to that where, as a Canadian, you can use US-based retailers, but we'll get into that a little bit more. So, and then you know what? I actually do want to mention one other thing about tracking. Does either of you guys want to take this for tracking and some cautions on that?
Yeah, so what I do is I use a browser that is just for making purchases through shopping portals, one that has no add-ons installed, nothing. A completely vanilla browser that is just for, as I said, using shopping portals. That way, you don't have any add-ons, you don't have any things that are blocking cookies, interfering with your activities online. So for especially an ad blocker, because ad blockers can really interfere with shopping portals. So what I would recommend is a completely fresh install of a browser you use only for shopping portals. And I've pretty much never had an issue using that method.
Yeah. I do want to say too, like there's really no reason to not use shopping portals. You're not out of pocket anything more.
Yeah.
It's funny, Danny, as you were going through it with, how they share a commission like that. That's exactly what we do with the Flyer Funds program here at Frugal Flyers. It's the same thing, same concept, not a shopping portal, but similar thing. With any platform like that, you're just leaving money on the table by not using it, frankly, right? Mm-hmm. There's nothing out of pocket. So if you're purchasing at any retailer, you should always be looking to see if this is on a portal. Even if you're not earning a crazy multiplier on it, it's cash or points back in your pocket. So don't miss out. And I think that's a big gap for a lot of people, is they don't know how they work, or they just don't know that they exist.
Yes. Or if you're like me and you still think that in order to buy things, you need to go to a store, if you are going to be buying something that is literally anything, like literally anything, you should see where you can buy it online if you don't need it right away, and how you might be able to purchase that through a store to get some extra rewards. I'm actually just being reminded of an article I wrote almost 2 years ago now, if not more than 2 years ago, about the Aeroplan Everyday Qualification Program. And a big part of that is going to be earning points if you want 25K status. Let me back up a little bit, give a little bit of relevant information. Basically, earning 100,000 points through eligible sources will get you 25K status with Air Canada. The eStore qualifies as that. So if you shop through Amazon a lot and you just default to there, there's quite a lot of exclusions through the Aeroplan eStore. But rather than going through Amazon, if you can find your product through another retailer, like Sport Check, for example, for workout gear or running shoes, you can often get quite a lot more Aeroplan points back in return. Or if you were not going to purchase online and just go to a store, if you really like your miles and points and you're not in a rush to get your thing, maybe think about going through a shopping portal online and getting it that way. Anything else to introduce shopping portals before we move on to our next section, gentlemen?
No, that's perfect.
Yep.
Excellent. So we're going to go over some of the most popular shopping portals, and actually probably all of the shopping portals in Canada. It's kind of sad. There aren't that many that are useful. So for the Canadian shopping portals, we have 3 that we want to highlight. 2 of them we actually have articles about on our site. The first one that I'm going to talk about is going to be Rakuten Canada. And I've actually never used Rakuten Canada because they are just true cash back. And there are a lot better and more valuable ways to earn than just true cash back. And even unlike a lot of the US portals, the cash back rates aren't that good. Like, I've never seen anything from Rakuten Canada that made me go, wow, I'm going to give up earning all these airline miles to earn cash back. And they also don't have higher cash back rates than their US counterpart. So as a Canadian, you can purchase things through the US shopping portals without any trouble at all. Like, it's easy to set up an account through there. So our first shopping portal to talk about is actually one you maybe don't want to use. If you're using Rakuten Canada and it works for you, that's great. I'm happy for you. But you might want to listen to what Jeff has to say about the Aeroplan eStore.
Yeah, so the Aeroplan eStore is the number one shopping portal in Canada. I think we will all agree on that. They have the most retailers by far, I think. And a lot of the retailers, I think, are pretty useful. When you go to Rakuten Canada, there's so many, yes, I'm sure people use them, but I find them to be very niche. Like they're retailers that you're probably just going to make one purchase a year, one or two purchases a year from. But the Aeroplan eStore has like tons of really, really useful retailers. Like they have, like if you buy, like we buy all our pet food from like PetSmart, and PetSmart is on the Aeroplan eStore. So like you're going to be making multiple purchases a year. So that type of thing is why I think the Aeroplan eStore is really, really great. And Aeroplan points are just super useful. You can never have enough of them. It's a really easy way to earn Aeroplan points. Like you said, they count towards status or towards earning status. And if you can combine that with one of the promotions, some of the promotions they have each year, that can really accelerate the amount of points you earn and status. So super useful. It's really the only Canadian one I use. And it's really easy to use. There's really no reason not to use it. Yeah.
Phenomenal promotions throughout the year too. Like I know I touched on it in the intro. Not just major holiday, throughout the year, there's always something going on the Aeroplan eStore. I know for Black Friday this year we saw 10 times across the portal. Jeff hit on a good one too. I find the same with Rakuten. Interestingly, they have a wide range of retailers, like massive list, like everything under the sun. But it's just a number. Like there's so many on there that I would just never, ever, ever use. Whereas Aeroplan, I feel like has things that I actually make purchases from in my daily life at good multipliers. So it's a good fit.
Yes. And one thing that I think a lot of people forget about is when you're making your cash bookings at Marriott, you can click through the Aeroplan eStore and earn oftentimes 2x or 3x Aeroplan points on your Marriott stay. So I know a lot of us get into the habit of booking things through the app because the Marriott Bonvoy app is excellent, or just going straight to Marriott.com. But if you are going to be booking a cash stay with Marriott, don't forget to click through any portal. There is another good one that we're going to talk about a little bit later on that I think is a game changer. But if you want more Aeroplan points and you want EDQ, clicking through for your Marriott Bonvoy stays is a huge tip that I missed out on a boatload of points when I first started getting going in this hobby. And then, Josh, I'm going to pass it over to you for our final Canadian shopping portal with Air Miles Shops.
Yeah, kind of a underserved portal, maybe for good reasons. So the Air Miles Shops is already set up a little bit weird. It's similar to the other two that we've mentioned already, but the earn rate is 1 air mile per $20 spent as a base, which is weird mathematically. Like it makes sense, but it's abnormal to say the least.
Yes.
So when you see multipliers, you're now earning, let's say it's 5 times, you're earning 5 air miles per $20 spent. Which it's weird. It's very weird. It's very abnormal. I get why they do it, because air miles are worth a little bit more in a true cash equivalent. But it's just different. There are less retailers on there. I find there are some good promotions, but it's less useful throughout the year. I think air miles serve a purpose in the Canadian landscape. I think they are far less useful than Aeroplan. So I have done some stuff in the past with Air Miles Shops with certain purchases, but not for the last few years. So again, worth looking into. Again, if you're a big Air Miles person, nothing wrong with it. Similar if you want cash back, nothing wrong with Rakuten. But not really a big hit for me, at least.
No, I think where Air Miles Shops can really stand out is during their Shop the Block promotions, where they start giving you benefits if you shop with a variety of different partners, and Air Miles Shops is included in that. And I believe you can even shop with different partners through the Air Miles portal, and it still checks off a partner through there. And occasionally you can get to like 1 mile for every $5, basically how you're spending, or even more than that. And then you also get the Shop the Block promotion miles on top of that. So I've seen some calculations where you're basically getting 30% cash back for your purchases, which is 30% cash back. You're not going to beat it. There are some exceptions to that with PayPal, but we'll get to that a little bit later on when it makes sense to throw that information in there. So Air Miles, I think, is actually coming back. They were a very dead program for a lot of years, but since BMO has bought them, they're really making a conscious effort to actually make it interesting. And relating to card-linked offers, I know we're not really in that section yet, but Air Miles and their card-linked offers and the app-exclusive offers can be awesome for filling up on gas. So, like getting 1 Air Mile for every liter of gas that you're filling up with on top of a discount is amazing. You're basically getting like an extra 8% cash back when you're filling up your tank through like 2 days or 3 days. So, Air Miles, if you're not looking at them, you should pay a little bit of attention for sure. So, moving on from Canadian shopping portals to the far more exciting world of US shopping portals, we have quite a few to talk about, and we are going to leave the newest player in this space to the end because there is so much to talk about with them. Firstly, Rakuten. I will talk about the US side, considering I talked about the Canadian side. The US shopping portal is unique for a number of reasons. The first of which being you can choose to earn flexible points versus cash back. And basically, rather than getting 2% cash back, you would get 2 points per dollar in a similar fashion to the Aeroplan shopping portal. But you do have to have a US issued American Express card that earns American Express membership rewards. So this would be green, gold, platinum, centurion, if you're about that life, and also the business green, business gold, and business platinum, or the blue business plus. Like there are some other things here that I don't want to say completely. That's the list, and that's it. There are many cards that earn American Express membership rewards in the US, and you can choose to earn American Express points through the Rakuten portal. And there are some amazing offers. For example, Lululemon often goes on at 10x, so you're getting 10 American Express membership rewards points through Lululemon. You can stack that with the card offer of $75 per quarter on the US Personal Platinum card, and you're getting 7,500 points, 750 points after spending $75. And you're basically just stacking 3,000 points over the course of the year that you wouldn't otherwise have that are free. So that's really awesome. You can also choose to earn Built points. And Built is an interesting one. They do have a few card-linked and dining portal offers as well. They are doing an introductory rate with Built where you're going to earn 1 point for every $1 that you spend. However, starting in May of 2026, that's going to change, where you're only going to earn 1/2 of a Built point for every point that's listed on the Amex or on the Rakuten site. So, for example, if something is going to earn 6% cash back, you are only going to earn 3 Built points for every dollar that you spend. Unless you have Built status, Built status is very hard to get. So, we can answer that question for you if you want to know how to get Built status, but not worth talking about here at the moment. Now, we also have some airline shopping portals. Josh, why don't you talk about the airline shopping portals and the fact that there are a bunch of them that exist out there?
Yeah, it's a way more common occurrence in the States. It feels like airlines and shopping portals just go hand in hand, which is neat to see. So for anyone who does buying groups in the United States, I know Danny's big on that. These are excellent portals to run through when you're doing those purchases, because not only can you earn points on those purchases as you would with a shopping portal, many times these purchases also will allow you to work towards status qualification with that airline or alliance. A big one that I've seen and I've used as well personally is going through the American Airlines shopping portal, which obviously AA miles, very valuable. But every mile that you earn through that also counts towards status. So this can get you on your way to American Airlines status, which in turn will get you One World status, which can get you into some excellent lounges, perks across a variety of airlines that we all fly regularly and love to, be on board with. So a great avenue to take. Not saying you have to only use the AA portal by any means, but if you're looking to earn miles in any of these US programs or US airline programs, it's worth looking into seeing if they have a shopping portal available.
Yeah, and pretty much every airline does. I mean, Delta's got a shopping portal, United has a shopping portal, and a dedicated gift card shopping portal that has different rates than what they have for their regular one. Atmos Rewards, what used to be Alaska, has a shopping portal. I'm missing one of the big airlines, American Airlines, that Josh just talked about. So there are tons of these things, and they often run limited time portal offers. So if you haven't signed up for the portal yet, they'll send you a sign-up bonus similar to a credit card. Now, it'll be significantly smaller, but it'll be something like earn 2,000 miles for spending $500. Well, that might not sound like a lot. That's additional 4x over the earnings. So if you're using something like Cashback Monitor, and it shows 4x at Rakuten or 2x at United, but you're going to spend $500, then this is a great way to be able to get 6x effective points in the store, and that's something that you just need to be aware of. So if you're not going to sign up for, or if you're not going to use the portal right away, I would encourage our listeners to wait until there's a sign up bonus, because usually they are limited to brand new accounts only. That pretty much covers it for airline shopping portals. Jeff, have you used Capital One Shopping much over the last little while?
I've never used Capital One Shopping. I don't have any Capital One cards or products, so it's something I've never used. I have used the Chase shopping portal, though, and it works much.
Yeah, Chase is worth talking about. Yeah,
it works much in the same way like all the other portals. You simply just earn Chase Ultimate Rewards back in a similar fashion, and it's definitely another avenue to go down. I'm pretty sure Citi. I'm not sure if Citi has a shopping portal. I believe it might just be Capital One and Chase that have shopping portals of the big banks in the U.S. So they're two good options to use as well.
Yeah, so Citi does not have a shopping portal, but they do have what are called Citi merchant offers. Yeah. Those are card-linked offers, and we'll get to them a little bit later, and Josh can probably speak to it because he is a Citi card holder. But Capital One Shopping is important to talk about because they do really weird stuff. So when I say that, they have been known to give crazy targeted offers as high as 30 to 60%. That is a unique link sent directly to your email. And the coolest part about it is you don't need a Capital One credit card or a Capital One bank account or be in any way, shape, or form related to Capital One other than signing up for Capital One Shopping. It is not true cash back. It's kind of like gift card cash back, and the merchants that are on the cashback options to cash out your gift card cash do change quite a lot, but things like hotels.com come and go a lot off of there. So, for example, there was one example last year where I was targeted for 30% back on Hilton stays at, I think it was DoubleTree and Homewood Suites. I was able to stack that with a double points promotion that was going on at Hilton and paying with my Aspire card. And then I also had an Amex offer on top of that. So we were quadruple dipping, and I basically got 80% of value, now gift card cash and Hilton points, but I got like 80% back on this $500 stay. So I ended up getting like $400 in rewards for something that I was going to spend money on anyway. How you get those targeted offers is you have to install the Capital One shopping button on a browser. And similar to what Jeff was talking about earlier, I actually have one instance of Google Chrome. You can create like separate profiles with your Google Chrome browser, and it's literally called Danny Shopping. And what I'll do is I'll just go in and click around on a website that I probably want to purchase something at that Capital One has a merchant for. I'll maybe add something to my cart, maybe take it out of my cart, maybe get almost all the way to the checkout page and then don't complete the checkout. And sure enough, whether it's a Hertz rental car or something like that, I will end up with a targeted offer in my account 80% of the time, a few days later. So Capital One Shopping is something that I think everybody should be at least trying to take advantage of. I haven't seen a 60% offer in quite some time, but you never know with Capital One. They do really weird stuff. They're definitely losing money at it, but cool that they're giving us the opportunity to get 80% back with stacked promotions, which is just absolutely wild. Our final entry into this shopping portal world of the USA is Rove Miles. Have either of you guys used Rove Miles at all since it launched earlier this year?
I have not.
Yeah, no, I've only looked at it. Haven't actually used it to book anything yet.
Okay. Well, listeners, I apologize for the monologue. I have used Rove quite a lot. So Rove is a very unique setup in the fact that you are earning transferable miles. They literally call them Rove Miles when you earn them. And you can choose which loyalty programs you want to send them to after you earn them. And they give pretty good offers right now in terms of like base earn rates. So even for things like Visa gift cards and MasterCard gift cards, you can get 3.2 to 3.6 miles for every dollar that you spend. Now, this is a US shopping portal, so you're getting every US dollar, not Canadian. So you need to compare and see, are you better off using something in Canada if you're going to make a Canadian purchase? And then also for those gift cards, you need to probably be aware that it's only going to work for a US merchant. I haven't actually tried them at Canadian merchants, but sometimes those Black Hawk Network cards can be very finicky with countries. So the fact that they are a transferable points currency is really unique, and they have no credit card. I actually was attending the Chicago Seminars Hyatt Regency just a few weeks ago, and I got to meet the head of marketing, Carissa, for Rove Miles. And she says that there are no plans for a credit card right now. And the reason why they don't have plans for a credit card is because they don't want to be limited in terms of the transfer partners that they can take on. So the cool thing that they've done is they have Miles and More, which is the loyalty program of the Lufthansa Group. And Miles and More offers some really unique opportunities. So Miles and More through Lufthansa offers instant access to first class space. So if you want to have a Lufthansa first class experience, which is lovely, I've done it many a time, and you don't want to have to book at the last minute, you can book far in advance, but you will pay a little bit higher in terms of the taxes and fees that go along with that. However, they also do something that are similar to spontaneous escapes. I can't remember the actual name of it, but they will put on sales for 88 miles, not 8,800 miles, not 88,000 miles, 88 miles to Europe from North America in economy class. And you'll pay about $200 in taxes and fees, but an absolutely insane deal in terms of the mileage that's required. Might not always be the best overall price, comparing that to a cash booking, but if you want to go for as few cash as possible on a consistent basis, that is an excellent way to do it, and you can do that through Rove. The last couple of things that I want to mention here as well, they also do hotel bookings through their shopping portal. And if you choose to make your hotel booking non-refundable, which I'm not a huge fan of, but if you know you're 100% going and you're not going to change it, they do give you your miles instantly. And there are some crazy rates, like 30x miles on your booking. So if you're going to spend, $2,000 or $3,000 on a hotel booking in Europe, and you have a 30x booking, you're going to get 90,000 miles that you could use to fly there instantly in business class. And Air France KLM is a one-to-one transfer partner. So take advantage of a promo reward like what we have going on right now. This episode is going to be released in December. But as an example, in November, you could book for 45,000 miles from Toronto to Europe. And it's 45,000 miles per person, and it's like $400 in taxes and fees. So a great way, if you're going to have an expensive hotel stay anyway, to get a boatload of miles and fly there in business class instantly. The last thing to mention about hotels, loyalty eligible bookings that earn miles on their platform. So what I mean by this is that you can book through Rove and get 5 miles per dollar, very similar to a shopping portal, and still get your Marriott Elite Nights, still get your Marriott benefits, and still get your Marriott points. So a real game changer in terms of being able to double dip, triple dip on all of your miles earnings. It is truly revolutionary. And I hope that more shopping portals start offering this sort of ability, or bank portals, to be able to get 8x or 5x through the bank and still get all of your loyalty benefits that you would expect. All right, so after my very long monologue about Rove and Capital One shopping, I'm now going to hand it off to my co-hosts to do a little bit of the heavy lifting on card-linked offers. So, Josh, you were going to talk about all of the, big 3 banks that do card-linked offers now.
Yeah, so super quick overview. Card-linked offers are exactly that, offers that are linked to your credit cards. So typically you'll log into your online banking, and there'll be a tab that's like offers. They may be called, TD offers, RBC offers, American Express offers, anything like that. And you're essentially able to just add these offers to your card, which then you go and make a purchase at that retailer or service that you added the offer for, and you will receive points, cash back, things like that. Where this gets a little unique, and we'll touch on our favorite shopping portal and card-linked offer stacking wins later, is you can use these card-linked offers and then still click through a shopping portal. So you may have an offer that is spend $100, get $20 back. So you'll get that when you make a purchase, but then you also click through a shopping portal, so you may earn additional cash back or miles on top of that purchase for no extra effort. So it takes a little bit of strategy, but the rewards can absolutely be worth it. So when it comes to kind of some of the more popular ones we see in Canada, in our recent Miles and Points news episode, we talked about TD offers, which is a new one as of late 2025. We also have RBC offers and American Express or Amex offers. So that's available on Canada and US Amex cards. There's way more offers in the States when it comes to Amex, like hundreds at any given time. The pool in Canada is much smaller, but there's still some good value in there. I've seen Lululemon, I've seen Hotels.com, Expedia, Virgin Atlantic, a bunch of airlines. There's really good offers in there to take advantage of. Scotiabank also has offers, but on their American Express line of cards. So there's this unique, if you type Scotiabank Amex offers into Google, it's this landing page that is random, is what it feels like, but they are there. You have to individually register each offer to your card. So you actually have to type in your card number and details to register it, but you can take advantage of that. Something that's interesting to note is if you have authorized users on Scotiabank cards, they can also sign up for the same offers. So if you hold, a Scotiabank Gold card, Gold American Express card, and you have your spouse as a significant other, you can actually use that offer twice because they're separate card numbers and they can be registered separately. It's important to mention that as well, going down this road, if you have the Scotiabank American Express card or the Scotiabank, that's the official name, but it's the Scotiabank Red American Express card, there's no fee to have authorized users on that. So depending on the offers that are available, there can be some great value there if you have, your partner or, kids as an authorized user to take advantage of the offer multiple times.
And you don't actually have to give your authorized user person the card to spend on.
Oh no, yeah, I have some in my drawer right now. It's great,
Yes. Yes. So as long as that person gives you permission to put their name on a credit card or want to actually pull their credit,
yes,
they're a real person that has a real birthday, you can add them as an authorized user to your Scotia Red. And if there is an Amex offer that you really love, you can use it a lot.
Yep. Great angle.
My cat and my dog are huge Amex offer users. Just going to say.
I mean, completely fair. Look, they should be allowed to spend their money too, right? Or your money on their stuff. So I completely get it.
They don't have opposable thumbs. How are they going to type the credit card number in without Jeff's help? right?
We also have Air Miles card linked offers, which is, if you already have a BMO Air Miles MasterCard, you're already kind of linked into that system. But if you just have a normal MasterCard, you can actually link your card as well and take advantage of those offers too. Kind of nice for that one because a lot of the offers are just, there if you link your card. So it's a low effort way to take advantage of it, but you might as well. Jeff, what about you? I know that we have a bunch in the States and a few others in Canada as well.
Yeah, I really like to use the ones in the States, actually, because for those that have listened to the podcast probably know I only live about 10 minutes from the border, so I frequently will go up there to go to the US to gas up just because it's so much cheaper. And there's almost always a card-linked offer for a gas station in the US, almost always. And I pretty much always take advantage of that every couple weeks, whether it's on my Amex card or a Citi card or a Chase card. I usually always find one that I'm able to use. So super easy to use if you make frequent trips to the U.S. or if you do some shopping in the U.S. and have a mailbox at the border. You can easily take advantage of offers there too as well. So lots of options. Like with everything in credit cards, way more options in the U.S.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you can also do Capital One through their card linked offers. So this is different than the Capital One shopping portal. The Capital One shopping for card holders, it's weird that they have the same name, often have uncapped mile earning offers. So I've seen in some Facebook groups in the States that somebody who is a office purchaser had a Vistaprint offer that was earned 20x at Vistaprint, and they spent $150,000 at Vistaprint, and they got 20x on $150,000 of spend. So there are always opportunities to be had, and read the terms and conditions and just go Control F. Like, you don't have to actually read through everything, but Control F and maybe look for cap or something like that in these terms and conditions, and it can be a great opportunity there. But Josh, you've also got Citi cards that have some Citi merchant offers on them.
Yeah, it's similar to what we see with other kind of card linked offers where you can just add it and then take advantage of it. I've seen stuff on there similarly for a lot of travel that is usable for Canadians. I'm not super close to the border like Jeff, so I don't have the opportunity to just drive over and do purchases like that. But I've done travel offers. There's been offers for like AT&T prepaying where there's a secondary market for utilizing stuff like that and making returns on it. So it's a great avenue to take advantage of in the States. What you'll see, and this is similar to Amex offers, is there's a lot of noise with these offers. Like, there's just so many of them that very few of them are really worth taking advantage of. But they are there, and it's always worth taking a look. The offers change all the time. So there's also some interesting tools or software in the States, such as CardPointers. CardPointers is a full suite for everything you need to know about offers on all of these cards. One of the most interesting features of CardPointers, which has been around for quite some time, is you can actually add multiple of the same offer across different cards. So, for example, if you have a American Express offer on a couple different cards, you typically should only be able to add it to one of those cards, is how it works. But with CardPointers, you're able to actually add it to multiple cards, which is great if you want to take advantage of it. And I know, Danny, you've used CardPointers in the past too. Is there anything else that you really like about that tool?
Yeah, it just automatically adds all of your stuff, right? So if you have Chase cards, whether you have Amex cards, those are the two that I've primarily used it for, and it will add everything. So you'll notice when you log into your Amex US account, you'll see 100 offers. You don't only have 100 offers. I've seen over 200 linked to my account at one time, and it is really useful for being able to just spend as you normally would, and randomly you'll get a email that you took advantage of an offer. So it does cost money to be a member of CardPointers. In the show notes, you'll find the affiliate link there if you want to sign up for it. I've certainly found great value in CardPointers myself. That is the list of things that we have to go over for card linked. And the last thing that I want to talk about, which neither of my compatriots on this show have used before, is PayPal rewards. So there's actually a few really good PayPal offers that are going on for the holiday shopping season, where essentially how it works is you check out with PayPal as you would in any checkout process, except you are still eligible to use your card linked offers. You're still eligible to click through a shopping portal, and most of the time it'll track. And then you still earn credit card rewards, and you'll also earn PayPal rewards if that particular merchant you're shopping at is listed and you've added the merchant to it. So one really low-hanging fruit that's hanging around this holiday season is check out 3 times. I think there's a minimum of like $20 per transaction, and you'll get $10 back in PayPal. So, I mean, that is like the lowest of low-hanging fruit. Even if you don't click through a shopping portal, just using PayPal, you're going to earn an extra $10 back. There's also some amazing targeted offers where if you are going to be spending on apparel, you can get 20% back on apparel spending. So if you're buying anything for shopping, you're just going to get 20% back on that. So I think the cap is like $120 on apparel in terms of back. Don't quote me on that, but look at your individual T's and C's. It's a high percentage though. So we were able to get a nicer holiday sweater for somebody that we were shopping for a Christmas gift because of that PayPal cashback. The only trick with PayPal is you don't add it like an offer and then it sticks to your account. You have to go in and manually add the offer every single time you want to use it. However, if you've got an Amex offer with Best Buy, you've got a 5% Best Buy cashback on PayPal, you've got a 5% or 10% click-through on Rakuten US, you can sometimes get absolutely insane returns, specifically if you're using buying groups and that sort of a thing. So do not overlook PayPal rewards. Make sure that you are checking out with PayPal, specifically if you have a merchant, but you're clicking through every single time and adding the offer back to the card over and over again. So that is all that I had to add about PayPal rewards and how you can quadruple or maybe even whatever 5x rewards is.
Lots of rewards.
Now, lots of rewards. Many rewards. That's what we're all about here. So moving on to our favorite shopping portal and stacking wins. A few of mine was something that we did after our wedding. We wanted to put together some photo books, and Shutterfly is a great resource to be able to do that. They will often be featured on shopping portals, and we were able to get 20x on Shutterfly, and that is equal to 20x American Express membership rewards. We combined that with a targeted 50% off coupon. So we ended up with, I think we spent like $1,000 on photo books, and we only ended up spending $500 with our 50% off coupon. And then we got, I think it was like 40,000 miles in return because it was 20x on 500. So yeah, if you value 40,000 miles at $800, then I made money from buying books. So full take that for what it is. My other shopping portal win that I wanted to highlight is I went through Rove Miles, one of my favorite, bought Airbnb gift cards. Typically, Airbnb is going to be either unbonused spend or general travel spend. So buying 3.6 miles for every dollar on top of my 1x through Rove is, or 1.5x actually, I use the US Freedom Unlimited. And then I also clicked through the British Airways Airbnb portal for 2x Avios for every dollar that you spend on Airbnb. I effectively ended up with a 7 points per dollar purchase on this Airbnb stay. Normally, I would only get 2x on general travel or 3x on general travel max if it was in the US. With a Sapphire Reserve, which is now changed, so it would have to be the Amex Green card. I think it's only 3x card that still exists. So basically doubling my return by buying Airbnb gift cards through Rove and then clicking through the British Airways Airbnb portal. What else do we have for wins, gentlemen?
Yeah, nothing huge comes to mind for me. Those are some excellent examples, Dan. Yeah, especially like the Airbnb one, because I think that's incredibly relevant for a lot of people. While no huge wins, I've had consistent success with stacking between Amex offers and the Aeroplan eStore. American Express in Canada always seems to have Lululemon offers. They're pretty damn consistent. Shout out Quentin on our team. I know he probably double dips on this too. There's always great chances to double dip. Maybe it's $20 back on a $100 spend through the Amex offer plus multipliers on the eStore, which is great. I've also had a lot of success in purchasing electronics, such as a laptop through Lenovo. Some crazy multipliers to be had out there. Again, for a purchase you were already going to make, anytime you're doing a high dollar purchase, especially, always think, is there a way I can make a little bit more on this? So take advantage.
Yep.
What about you, Jeff?
Yeah, so I really like Booking.com for like what I guess call miscellaneous travel purchases. And the nice thing is that Booking.com is on the US Rakuten website, oftentimes at excellent multipliers. And my wife and I went to Vietnam probably 4 or 5 years ago now, and we did a cruise in Ha Long Bay. And the cruise was around $700, and I got just over 6,000 Amex MR just from that purchase through Rakuten. And it's kind of funny, you just mentioned the US green card. That's what I used to pay for it. So I earned 3x on that. So, 8,000 MR for, $600-700 spend. Pretty good return, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Call that $160 if you value those points at 2 cents per point. So you're going to get, see how fast I can do math, somewhere around 20% back. However, if I'm going to nitpick your purchase, Jeff, you probably could have added a card-linked offer for Viator, and then you also probably could have clicked through PayPal and gotten 5% or 6% back through your Viator PayPal rewards. So I think for most online purchases, looking at PayPal, looking at your card-linked offers, and also going through a shopping portal on top of maximizing what card you're using, you can 4 times dip your rewards, if not even 5 times dip through some other various methods through buying gift cards and whatnot. So moving on, that takes us to the end of episode 28, double dipping and maximizing card linked offers. Thank you so much for tuning into this episode of Miles Ahead. Don't forget to subscribe and leave a review on your favorite podcast platform. If you have any questions about anything we discussed, please leave a comment wherever you're listening or on the episode page at FrugalFlyer.ca. And if you have a question you want us to answer on air, you can submit it on FrugalFlyer.ca/podcast. Finally, if you also have a quadruple dip that you want to brag about, I'll feature it on the show. If you knew about PayPal rewards and you're using it, I give you a double thumbs up. That pretty much covers it for me. Bye, everybody.